I always knew that energy was something we can measure. We can measure light energy, heat energy, sound energy, like electrical energy, impulses. That's always been something we can measure. But what I never thought of that this investigation showed me is that energy changes just by who you put together. I myself am my own dynamo, my own battery, my own source of energy. You are also your own dynamo. But when we put our two dynamos within physical proximity of each other, there's actually energy that gets shared. That's part of the shared reality that we have, right? Layer on top of that the fact that our brains are quantum computers. Your quantum computer is running off of your dynamo and creating energy that it puts out into the world around it, just like a battery puts out energy passively, right? My quantum computer is doing the same thing. So then we actually have quantum energy that's commingling as well.
Yes.
So one of the things that's been long theorized is that individuals have different experiences, even in the everyday world, because their dynamo and their quantum computer are different. And then when you put two people together, the experience they have together is different than the experience they would have by themselves. I think you've probably experienced that yourself. If you've ever gone to the beach by yourself, it's a completely different experience than if you go to the beach with your friend, or if you go to the beach with a girlfriend, or if you go to the beach with your parents, right? But now there's actually like an energetic explanation for it. Now, instead of the beach, imagine what you're actually experiencing is some strange phenomenon. Whether you think you're seeing a UFO in the sky or whether you're standing over some sort of energy vortex in the ground, whatever it might be, that energy source, that experience is then transformed by the fact that your quantum energy and your dynamo are combined with somebody else's. And that idea that everybody has their own relationship with the phenomenon is a theory that's been difficult to nail down and difficult to measure. What I was able to do as part of this investigation series with my co-host Paul and with Dr. Taylor and with Eric Bard is actually create a series of experiments that measured exactly that. That measured, here's the energy of the phenomenon at this point in time with these people present.
I'm getting a little confused though. Like, are you saying that this energy is something that these specific people you're measuring can interact with, and it relates back to like a UFO? Or are you saying it's some sort of otherworldly or not from this, to go back to the multiverse thing, this reality that we know, that we can at least see it on this chart right here, and that's it?
What we know is we know what the energy is of the reality as it exists right now, right? So, for example, I went to a place in Arizona. I stood in a specific place that was a place that the Navajo Indians had long suspected was an area of a cursed area, right? So I stood on that precipice with my Navajo host and took 3 measurements. And I got 3 pieces of data, 3 different standalone pieces of data. That's what we would call a baseline.
What were the measurements?
One was UHF, VHF radio signal. One was organic radiation. And one was Geiger counter radiation. So
I know what all that is.
Uranium-based radiation, right?
Okay.
So we got 3 baseline readings. I then left that location. I came back to the same location with my Native American host again, and my co-host for the investigation, and 2 other investigators. 5 people. Same location, completely different readings on all 3 devices, right? Not because anything had changed, except for 2 hours had passed and more people were present on an area that was known to be a cursed area by the local Navajo Indian tribes, right? When you can measure variations in energy like that, you have to ask the question, why? Why is that happening here? We don't know. We're not saying that it's related to UFOs. We're not saying that it's related to government experimentation. We're not saying it's related to solar flares. But what we are saying is we know for a fact that we can document anomalous behavior, right? Something is different at this location. We take those measurements all over the place, and 4 out of 5 places, they're the same, whether there's 2 people there or 5 people there. But in this location, they're different.
So
Why?
you did go to places where there was nothing to see, but then some of them there was.
Absolutely. And we have all the video footage of nothing happening at all that you could possibly ever want to see, right? And I got to give that credit to our producer, David Carr, because he wanted to make sure. He's like, we're going to catch everything, every boring, disappointing moment, as well as any moments that are hopefully the opposite of boring and disappointing.